Good afternoon, everyone. After the lunch, I think it is sleeping time. Good afternoon. And can I have a bigger applause, please? Applauding helps you to keep awake. Well, it's my privilege to be in ICT Academy Bridge for a second time. Thanks for the wonderful opportunity, ICT Academy. Today, we have the theme of this conference as Future of Work. I know that several dignitaries were speaking before me in the morning session, and a few are speaking after me, the industrial leaders. If you ask us about the future of work, all of us would be telling the same thing, but still I will try to give some insights into my perspectives on the future of work and how my company UST Global is trying to adapt to the technological changes which we are expecting in the next few years. Perhaps most of you might have noticed the previous US President Barack Obama, when he visited India, he said, the youth of India is going to shape the world. The youth of India is going to shape the world, not only India, the world, because in India, more than 35% or nearly 40% of the population is youth, young people below 35 years. So these young people become a majority and they have the capacity to transform India. And in the next few years, as per the reports and as per reviews, India is expected to take over China as the most populous country in the world. As per the last census, India has 315 million youth here. It is almost equal to the population of United States. So we can understand the capacity of Indian youth to transform and shape the world. So if a world leader said that, we should consider it as our opportunity to transform the youth. You and me, we are the people who are working in this area, and I consider it as a great privilege for providing insights into this so that all of us sitting here can make use of this opportunity, and in the next 5 years, we need to adapt to the changing future of work. If you ask any of us, you also know that it's not a new thing. When we talk about new technologies, it's all about robotics, artificial intelligence, cloud, big data, things like that. Everybody talks about all this. In my company, when I look to UST Global, I see a huge change in the last 1 or 2 years. So many of you were asking me what are the plans for hiring this year. Before coming to that, let us first understand what are these future technologies which is being highly adopted and how it is changing the work pattern in our company, and also how our HR is going to be expected to match the requirements or change the strategies of hiring or data or talent acquisition. One change that I see in my company is everything is focused about innovation. It's not only in my company, it is the same everywhere. We have 100 patents strategy this year. We have been conducting hackathons, contests inside the company to promote maximum ideas so that we can have 100 patents this year. You know that without innovation, no company can sustain. 100 patents. 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 1 and how it is affecting the talent acquisition. In the last 2 years, we have been staying away from campus hiring because I have a live database with me. And I'm seeing a very slow movement of freshers within the company. So whenever there is a requirement coming up, people have been asking, people from the accounts, they have been asking for trained people. So we have been, from this selected database, we have been requesting the students, the candidates, selected candidates, to send us, to evolve further lists who are trained in Java, who are trained in .NET, or even artificial intelligence. Such specialized requirements we are receiving from the business, because there is more and more requirement to reduce cost all over the world. The industry has been pressed to reduce cost of operations. And again, the lead time that we get is very less. We cannot wait to train people. So the kind of requirements we are getting is, we need 30 Java trained people next week. So they should start working next week. That's the kind of requirements we are getting. Another change that I am seeing within the company is an internship model penetrating. We have set up an innovative lab, an innovation lab in our company, and we are selecting interns and doing a high-level skill, high-skill training. And we have the opportunity to find out who is faring, who is meeting our requirements. And not only UST, I know that all companies are adopting this strategy, because there also we have the freedom to select or not to select, to verify and validate whether the students are meeting our requirements. When we look at the reviews, we see that all the basic skills which were demanded from the freshers, all the basic level jobs are getting more and more automated. The RPA, robotic process automation, is being increasingly adapted by companies all over the world. Yesterday I was having a chat with my batchmates working in the US, and a few of them were saying as much as 40% of their processes have been replaced by a robotic process. Robotic process can replace the regular Word or spreadsheet operations. It can get data from that and process data, and even input the relevant data into software applications, do validations according to rules. All these things are possible by RPA. So it means that several of the jobs in which we used to deploy the freshers whom we recruit, they are going to get automated, and these lower level jobs will not be existing anymore in the next 5 years. So as a result, there will be a huge reduction in the requirement of the basic level skills in the next 5 years. Moreover, at the same time, there is an increase in high-skilled, demand for high-skilled people. So what are those skills which we are looking for? If we know that, it will be helpful for us to do training in the campuses to prepare our students to adapt to the newer requirements. Going forward, we'll need more people, more freshers who can think and come up with innovative solutions, who have good mathematical skills, who are highly creative. The routine kind of jobs are not going to be existing anymore. Maybe the word career is also going to be vanished in a few years' time. Even my job may be at stake, because we don't do the regular kind of recruiting anymore. Whenever we receive a requirement, it's a kind of new requirement. Do you have people trained in GNOC? Do you have people trained in artificial intelligence? So we are also able to look at newer things and adjust the way in which we were working till now. So it's a huge change. And it is also relevant that companies are finding that the people who are in-house, I mean, the long-term service is also going to be under question now, because unlike earlier, especially in IT, the people who have been in the service or who have been in the company for a long time, they assume a particular mindset and they do not feel the need to change. So when we select a new person from outside for a short time as contractors, or if we do outsourcing, such people are deputed for very high level or specialized jobs rather than people who are in-house. So going forward, the talent acquisition also might have to be renamed like talent access. We might be able to look at talent access platforms for people, high-skilled people for a short time, like contractors, or we still, even now, we are associating with several platforms and several partners for specialized kind of services, for specialized kind of deployment of skilled workers. If you are not having a specific skill in a particular area, we might be thinking about acquiring a new company working in that area so that we will have an expertise in that field. Or we will be working with some vendors who will be in that area. I have seen a big shift in the learning pattern also. The classroom kind of learning is almost going out. So 2 years back, there was a lot of classroom training happening by our training academy. Now it is not like that. More training happens online. So I also had a chat with our training head who told me that more training happens online. People prefer to learn at their own pace. People learn by doing things. So the courses are also kind of designed. We associate with some companies like Pluralsight or Linda, Cadence. There are several companies with whom we associate to roll out specialized learning programs. And the learning packages are also designed like there will be a small session, then there will be a learn by doing session. So these are the kind of changes that are happening in training also. And we are also thinking about forming clubs for each technology. Like there's a, if it is artificial intelligence, there will be a club in artificial intelligence. So if somebody is learning more things about that, they can form a group and there will be other interested people or people with more expertise who can answer questions and support with solutions. So these are some of the advancements which has happened in the learning area. Something interesting I would like to mention here is last week I just learned about a new concept. Everybody is familiar with Uber, right? Have you heard about Uberization? I heard about it only last week. There's a new concept in which this requirement came up because our architects team who work in proposals, they are very busy. They get so many proposals every week, so they are unable to cater to all these proposals with equal importance. So we are thinking about a model in which we will form an expert panel and we will give, this expert panel might be architects working in other accounts, and we might be opening up opportunities for these experts to work in something extra, they'll, apart from their regular work, and incentives will be paid to them. So this is another model which has come up. I think increasingly more and more as we move forward, the regular full-time employment is going to reduce other than at the supervisory or managerial level. So all the other skilled jobs are going to be more short-term or going to be for the contractors or people who are freelancing. There are going to be freelancing groups who provide these short-term expertise kind of works. These are some of the changes that I see in my company. And corporate social responsibility is going to be a thrust area by all the companies. So UST has come out with apps like security apps for women, which works with police department, so that if there is a button pressed in case of any emergency, an alert goes to police and other required people. Another thing is telemedicine, in which we have created an app in which the rural people can access doctors and medical services. So these are the kind of CSR related activities which many companies will be doing, and all companies are focusing on this area as well. This is going to be increasingly evident and relevant going forward. And when we look at training the youth, training the students in colleges, still you will be wondering, I have given a lot of insights. Maybe you feel that it is an alarming situation. It is not like that. We will still need freshers. But thing is that the concept in which all people with a reasonable skill is going to be recruited by IT services company, that trend is not going to be existing anymore. Instead, we'll be looking for people with special skills who are really capable of adapting to changes. The future of work is going to be rapidly changing, and the existing employees itself, a good chunk of the employees, they have to be retrained in the newer skills. So these people who are coming in, the young people, have to be highly adaptable to understanding and learning newer skills. So for that, they have to have a strong foundation which you can support on, rather than doing the training, last minute training. It may not be going to help. You will have to start focusing on them from the first year to try and improve their communication skills, to improve their foundation, the mathematical skills, analytical skills. These are the kind of skills on which you will be required to work more going forward. Definitely we will need a lot of people in that area. And the kind of packages also, unlike earlier, now we are receiving proposals in which we are able to provide differential packages for really talented people. And also the earlier concept of the corporate ladder is not existing anymore. There is more and more delayering of the management layers. And it's from corporate ladder, it has almost come to a corporate lattice. If you are good, you can go up. If you are not good, you will stay there, or you can even go out. So that's a kind of approach which is increasingly seen in the companies in the present work scenario. And personally, if you ask me, I have concerns about this, because I am working in UST Global for the last 8 years. I am a person who has an attachment to my space. If you look at flexibility now in the last 2 years, what we see in IT services company, our main asset is human resources. There is always a constraint on space. We do not have fixed seat. If you have a laptop, you can work from home, you can work from the VC room, you can sit anywhere. So earlier, I used to find it very difficult to work like that. I used to keep a money plant on my table, maybe a picture. I was fond of doing that, and I used to feel attached to my place. But now, I have also learned to adapt to this. So going forward, the attachment, all these automation and things like that, might be against socialization. somewhat. See, sometime back, years back, we were cultivating paddy and we were producing vegetables in our own garden. Then soon we stopped all that and we started buying all these from the market. Now what happened? We are going back to that again. We have started our terrace farming again. We are going after organic things with 3 times cost because it's not having pesticides. There were side effects. So we are increasingly going back to the natural ways. So personally, I feel that this automation might reverse at a point of time, not today or tomorrow, not even 15 years beyond, but at a point it might reverse and we might all come back to a more socialized and close work environment. For the time being, in the next 10 years or 15 years, even the recent news say that India is aiming at having only electric cars by 2030. Already driverless cars are in different parts of the world, only that legal process is remaining. Technology is still there. Maybe the insurance and other legal framework is what is pending. By 2025, there will be numerous automated cars in the world. And all of you sitting here who has Benz and Audi, you might keep it in your porch just for namesake, and you might call a driverless car when you want to go somewhere. Even now we do that, right? We call Uber even though we have a car because it is cost effective and we don't need to drive. We don't need to worry about the traffic. So things like that are going to happen. It's a big change, but we still have time. We have at least 5 years to adapt to these changes. Thing is that we have the personal challenges and the organizational challenges. And in organization, HR has to think about creating a right mix of people, right mix of in-house talent as well as contractors or outsourced talent. And personally, we have to continuously adapt to the newer technologies and acquire the newer skills and improve. I know that there is a big future for the youth of India. Like Barack Obama said, the future of the world itself is in the youth of India. And you and me, we have the responsibility and we have the privilege to work in this area and help them to come up and adapt to the newer skills. It is not alarming. Let's think about it as opportunities. We only need to understand that there is a big change that is happening, and what is the change required in our approach, and what is the change required in preparing our children or preparing our students or youth to meet the challenges of the future of the world. Thank you very much.